President signed into law the student loan bill now becoming an act, and all that surrounds that we'll be talking about and finding out what it portends for the Nigerian state, for the Nigerian youth, for Nigerians, and the Nigerian economy. My guest this morning is Mr. Larry Oloyede. He is a public affairs analyst joining us via phone. Mr. Oloyede, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure joining you on this program this morning.
Well, those of you who are listening, you can join the conversation when we open up the phone lines. The numbers to call would be 09073530044 and 09087668888. You can send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 09097054450. Now, Mr. Lady, let's get into this conversation. Let's begin with the 10th National Assembly. It's been a little controversial in the last few weeks leading up to this hour. In fact, the National Assembly inauguration was built to commence at about 10 a.m., but we saw the process begin just about after 8 a.m. Around that time, the proceedings, about 8:30 or so, the proceedings had begun. In fact, currently, as we speak, the senators are electing, or casting their ballots as to who would emerge the president of the Senate. What do you make of all of these back and forth between the executive and the APC and other senators who do not agree with the position of the All Progressives Congress and its anointed candidate for the leadership of the National Assembly?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning once again. All the dramas, all the antics that we have experienced so far in the build up to the inauguration of the 10th Assembly is not unexpected. I want you to recall that the National Assembly is the bastion of democracy, is the core and the center of democracy itself, because without the National Assembly, there will be no democracy. The only missing arm of government in military rule is the National Assembly. And that because of that, it is expected of them to demonstrate that they are the true custodian, the true, custodian of the ideals of our democracy. And then it is one of the reasons responsible for all these antics. And whenever you see, whenever there is election, there will be interest and there will be counter interest. And each party or each contesting bloc want to outsmart or play each other out, and that is responsible for a little bit of gambit that you saw this morning. The program was scheduled to kick off by 10 a.m., but perhaps maybe in an attempt to outsmart some other senators, like what happened in 2015, you recall, while some elected senators were still they were at ICC trying to have a meeting with the president. Now, some smart senators were already on the floor of the National Assembly and left doing the job of the day. So, but in this case, there's a little bit of a difference because everybody seems to have, learned their lesson. The program was originally scheduled for 10, but it kicked off around 2 minutes past 6. So every senator was there. How did they get to know? It means they are also, putting their ears to the ground so that they will not be, outsmarted or experience what played out in the 2015 election. And just to answer the question that you asked, that why is it so? Like I said, interest is what usually plays out whenever you have election or electioneering, and that is the beauty of democracy. People are bound to have an interest, but the most important thing is that the overriding national interest should be what should take center stage. As the senators have begun, the process of voting from state to state, what Nigerians are expecting from them is to put first the interest of Nigeria, the interest of national security, the interest of national development should come first before their own parochial or self-interest. And I believe the way things are going now, at the end of the day, Nigerians will get the kind of Senate leadership are that these senators themselves want Nigerians to have.
Now, let's look at, you just mentioned something that tickled my interest, the national interest conversation. We saw the vice president make a statement as regards who should be the number three man. It says, in the interest of national interest and the balance of religion, in terms of leadership of the nation, if the number one man is Muslim, the number two man is Muslim, then there's need for a Christian president of the Senate, making an argument for why Senator Godswill Akpabio should be made the president of the Senate, as against Abdulaziz Yari, whose camp may have teamed up with some opposition members, and also the likes of Senator Goswi, what's his name, Ojus Okalu, and the vice president had said, look, even a bad Senate president, a Christian Senate president would be better than a sound Muslim president of the Senate. In all of this, the religious card still comes up. Now, where do we draw the line between religious interests and national interests?
Honestly, yeah, natural. I really hope and pray that we can outgrow this issue of religious sentiment and other parochial sentiment, because it certainly will take us nowhere. It has taken us nowhere, and it's one of the reasons why we are where we are today. And it's not only the issue of religion, because, like people will say, poverty, under development, there's no religion. The same way poverty is ravaging the Christian-dominated area or part of Nigeria, in the same way poverty is ravaging the Muslim or Islam-dominated, area of Nigeria. So religion has really not helped us, and I really hope that as a nation that we can embrace all these sentiments. But the fact is we have not outgrown it, and we cannot outgrow it overnight. It has to be gradual. A lot of people will see it in a different perspective. If the person that emerged today as the Senate president is also a Muslim. Now, a lot of talks have gone in the past that there's a plot for Islamization of Nigeria, but we have not seen that happen. Personally, I don't think and I don't see us getting to a situation where we have a particular religion dominating government, and as a result of that, making laws or policy to undermine other religions. I don't see it happening. Even as it speaks today, it appears as though we have a more Muslims in the National Assembly because of the northern region. The northern region has more senators and House of Representatives members in the National Assembly. But I do not see them over the years. We just see them in a line of saying making laws to undermine other religions and then maybe playing Islam above other religions. It has not happened. I don't think it's going to happen. You see, this issue of a religion is a card that is being thrown and played about by politicians for divisive purposes in order to achieve their aim. And I think Nigerians need to mature. I do not care. For instance, look at what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has started doing. A lot of people are already, their hope is already being revived, being resuscitated. For who cares what Bola Ahmed Tinubu worships? I don't care if he worships Bongo or he worships Shango. I don't care. What I need is somebody who will make policies that will touch my life, that will touch the life of my people. That is what Nigerians should yearn for. I really do hope that we can underplay this issue of religion in our political development. Now, if the person that we emerge today will be the person that we do the yearnings of Nigerians, will be the person that we, front for the Nigerian people. Whether it's a Christian, whether it's a pagan, whether it's an atheist, whether it's a Muslim, it really does not matter to me. And I really hope that Nigerians will go to that level.
People who argue for, the place of religion argue to, based on inclusivity and, what do you call it now? Marginalization, or they argue against marginalization. For instance, they're looking at the optics and what it would look like if the president,
I'm
the
finding
vice.
difficult to hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm finding it difficult to hear you. Can you come
I
again with
can
your
actually
question?
hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so the argument for a Christian president of the Senate is that it doesn't look so good for the uptakes and of the national, leadership structure when the president, the vice president, the president of the Senate, and also the chief justice of the Federation, all arms of government, or the three arms of government, being led by a particular religion, as against carrying everyone along, and other religions or even the Christian faith having a sense of belonging at the national level. Do you think that the antics would look good if we have all of these positions going to especially with the situation where the vice president is from the northeast, the speaker already seems to be settled for the north central, and then we have another north central senator who is also Muslim, as in president of the president, as a president of the Senate. What do you make of that? How does that look for Nigeria as a nation?
See, office is facade, and facade can be deceptive. Have you noticed some multinational companies that are doing well in Nigeria today? Have you taken a look at the hierarchy of their directors from the MDCU? Now, it doesn't matter who or where the religion the practice. The fact is that they know what they are doing and they are doing it well, and the company is moving forward, bringing it over to shareholders. The shareholders care less about the religion that their board of directors or whatever, practice. No, that is the one we should be able to bring that sense of a corporate, organization into governance, so that we can have what we call corporate governance. Whether all the principal officers in the executive or in the legislature come from a particular religion, really does not matter. But what matters is their spread across the geopolitical zone. SAPC, yes, I can agree with you. Now, it might not all go well if all the principal officers are from a particular region of the country. But if there is spread across this geopolitical zone, the religion they practice really does not matter, because religion is a thing of the heart. And you know what? We profess religion a lot in this country. And the truth of the matter is, most people are actually led to religion. Because religion is not what you do outside. It's not when you go outside to pray and cry and everybody sees you. It's not when you go to church and you dress flamboyantly and you mount the pulpit that you actually serving God. Now, the religion is what you do between you and your God when nobody sees you. It's what you do between you and your fellow countryman when nobody sees you. That is religion. And I don't see in your I don't people who fund this thing, who fly this thing. Most of them, I can tell you, they are not religious. Most of them are actually, I don't want to use some words that can be offensive on here. Most of them they do some terrible things, some diabolical things. They visit Babalawo in the night and come in the morning to tell you that they are Muslim and they are Christian. It's a lie. Nigerians should stop, falling for this thing. We should go this thing that the office really does not matter. It is not the office that brings the food to the table. It is what the person that is there can do, what with the capacity that he has got to offer, whether it can actually bring us out of this economic zone that we have found ourselves. Because Nigeria is actually on the precipice. Our economy, our unity is at the precipice. Now, how do we get ourselves out of this body of indebtedness that we have found ourselves? How do we, bounce back to become a buoyant economy? How do we fulfill our destiny as the giant of nations, giving direction to other smaller nations around us? That is what should bother our mind. Whoever can do this for us, regardless of what is practice. Because religion, like I said, is a thing of the mind. It is personal. It is in your mind. As I am sitting here now, speaking with you, don't know what is going on in my mind. Religion is a private thing. It should not be brought to the public for. And people have, advocated that when you talk of national restructuring, now the funds that people pay, now the issue of religion should be removed because it really has not helped anybody. What's your business about who I pray to in my closet? Why do you want to know who I worship? We should de-emphasize this issue of religion and actually look at people who have the competence, who have the capacity. But we can still take into consideration the issue of ethnicity, the issue of region. These positions should be widely spread across regions, across ethnicity, but religion for me is a no-brainer. It makes nothing to do.
Very well. Now, just to bring you up to speed, the ballots is being counted at the moment for who would emerge or who's most likely going to emerge as the president of the Senate. As soon as the ballot is completely counted, would find out who it is that would be the president of the Senate. It's quite an interesting one. We see the likes of Senator Alin Dume standing there as maybe like an agent to his candidate, who is Godswill Akpabio, the anointed one by the party, and Elijah Abo standing as a witness, observing the counting as a supporter of Abdulaziz Yari. Now, Mr. Let's go to and talk about the National Assembly itself and its workings. The 10th National Assembly, what is expected of the 10th National Assembly, because the 9th Assembly was criticized to, and called names. Many people called the 9th Assembly a rubber stamp assembly that was totally subservient and that was controlled by the executive. Would you want to see, some of us say, look, that was necessary for a smooth running of government between the executive and the legislature. Would you want to see a 10th Assembly similar to the 9th Assembly, or would you want a shift from what, we had in the 9th Assembly?
Going by the principle of the separation of power, the role of the National Assembly is to checkmate the empathy of the executive and vice versa. I do not expect us to experience what we experienced in the 9th National Assembly, where the National Assembly opened the door for the executive to borrow money recklessly and plunge Nigeria into the abyss of indebtedness, that it did not have an astute leadership that can think outside the box. We might not likely get out of this indebtedness trap in the next 50 to 100 years. We do not want to see a repeat of that. At the same time, we need a National Assembly that will cooperate with the executive to achieve transformational, the agenda, the release hope agenda of the executive, so that we begin to see the impact of developmental, policies in Nigeria, in the life of people. The president has hit the ground running as a promise. In the last 14 days, he has made policies, he has signed bills, that that intend to impact on the life of the people. But another thing is, how does this thing, cascade down to the people? So we need a National Assembly that we cooperate with the executive, but not to act in the form of a rubber stamp like what we experienced in the 9th Assembly, but that must be dangerous to our policy.
Very well said. Let's talk about some of the actions of the president in the last couple of days. About 2 weeks in office now, and one of the first things we saw was the removal of subsidy. You mentioned that those are things that impact the lives of Nigerians. We've also seen the arrest of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, something that many Nigerians commend. And now the signing of the student loan bill. The student loan bill is one that has also sparked up a bit of concern in some circles. Even though majority, some people are saying, look, it's very commendable. It's a very commendable one. But then looking at the economic situation of the country, looking at some of the modalities put in place for these loans. For instance, the fact that the loans will be accessible to those whose annual earning as a family would be around 500,000 naira monthly. If all of these are checked, would you say that or put in place or looked at critically, would you say that the student loan bill is one that should be commended at this time?
Very much commended, because this is one of the policies that will make the ordinary Nigerians to have a feeling of what we call the national case. Because all this while, all the opportunities that are out there, have been hijacked by the privileged, the elite, such that the people at the lower rung of the ladder do not even feel the impact of the government. So this is one policy that will rub off on the ordinary Nigerian citizens. If only they can reduce the bottleneck that will be put in place to access this loan, they can make it the same way it is abroad, because we've seen Nigerian students go school abroad and have access to student loans to go through their academics. The same, if it looks a bad there is the same educated here in Nigeria. And talking about the status of the economy and as to how this will be funded. Now, there is going to be a kind of education fund or student trust fund where a pool of money will be made available, and it is from this pool of funds that this loan will be disbursed to the Nigerian students. And I also will advise the executive to put criteria in place that will ensure that only the underprivileged, the indigent, are allowed to have access to these loans. We don't want to have a situation where we have children of senators, children of governors, or their relations, having access to this, because they have had enough. They have enjoyed enough of the national case. The ordinary people who have not even tasted anything about the benefit that the Nigerian state offers are the ones that should be allowed to have access to this way. And I believe if the right people are put in place to manage these things, and if the right oversight is done by the president or the presidency and the legislature themselves, we will get the desired results, and it will be the beginning of a turning point for Nigeria.
But looking at this, other aspects of the student loan bill, or the act now as it's been signed into law, the people are saying, look, this may just serve as another conduit pipe for people to steal money, the way that it happened with the anchor borrowers scheme, the way that it happened with the homegrown school feeding program, which many have alleged to be an avenue for people to loot the treasury. What do you think the government needs to put in place to ensure that these monies actually go to the right people, go to those who deserve them, or these loans go to those who deserve them, unlike what we had with the NASAL loans that people collected, or that people were supposed to go to indigent Nigerians, and the conditional cash transfer, which people say, look, we haven't really felt the impact of over time.
Yes, now there are institutions that are in place to manage this scheme, and it should not be put under the authority or the control of political appointees like the minister. Now, these things should be integrated into the system, because it is a bill. It is not a directive. It is not a policy of the president. It is a bill. So it should be institutionalized, and there are many institutions in place. The tertiary education trust fund is there. It has been managing funds for years, and over the years, one can say they have done averagely well based on reports that we have had about them. There are other institutions, not like the policy of populism that we experienced under the Buhari administration, where full sums of money are placed under some political appointees or political stools as a way of compensating them for whatever role they might have played in the life of the Mr. President or during the election. And as a result, that allows them to manage the money anyhow. They disburse the money at their own discretion, no particular criteria that was followed. And then it was not even done in a transparent and in a manner that allows for accountability. But if this is institutionalized, now if it is passed through an existing system or institution that already has a system in place for transparency, for accountability, and there is serious oversight from the presidency and the National Assembly, I think this will be judiciously, administrated, unlike what we have experienced in the past.
Very well said. Well, let's quickly announce to you that Senator Godswill Akpabio has emerged the president of the Senate. It appears the 10th National Assembly has a new president. The 10th National Assembly has a president now. The votes have been counted, and Senator Godswill Akpabio may have emerged a winner. Say congratulations to him. That's breaking news at the moment. The conversation continues here. We'll be talking more with my guest and other areas, and would open up the phone lines to bring you in as well. My guest has been Mr. Larry Oloyede. The conversation has been quite interesting so far. Keep it with us.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Are you looking for an internet service that will make surfing on the internet an enjoyable one? Do you want a super fast connection to the internet? Look no further, as Eagles Internet Services is here for you, an effective internet service provider with 99% proven reliability for residential and office services. We provide unlimited internet bandwidth services of different bundles tailored to meet your desires and taste. It is reliable, affordable, with a wide coverage. You can locate them at Plot 1719 Cadastral Zone B, Kaura District, or you can call 081 33121423 or 09065765969. Eagles Internet Service. Stay connected to everything you love.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
And the conversation continues. Now you have it. Senator Godswill Akpabio emerged the emerging president of the 10th National Assembly. Congratulations to him. And well, the conversation is on the way. You can join in now. Feel free to jump in with your 2 cents. Let us know what you think. And share your thoughts with us based on everything that we have talked about and everything that my guest has said this morning. Feel free to join in 09073530044 and 09087668888. Let's bring you in. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Oganemanu. Welcome.
Yes. Yeah, I guess I've spoken well. Talking about religion. It is only in appointment and political positions that the elite use it in deceiving the commoners, not people like me. Because apart from appointment and the rest, let me ask you one question. If you want to board a vehicle, are you going to ask the driver whether you are a Muslim or a Christian before you board that vehicle? Or if you go to a hospital, are you going to ask the doctor, are you a Muslim or a Christian before he gets you treated? Or in the marketplace, the trader, Are you going to ask the trader, are you a Muslim or a Christian before you buy whatever you want to buy? So we should jettison all this Christian, Muslim. This. So in our way, it goes a long way in any way to balance up. But it does not necessarily matter. Nigeria needs people that can take us out of the woods, whether Muslim, whether Christian. We need it in that way. That is just what I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much, Oganemanu. I appreciate you calling in. You two can be a part of the conversation. Now, let's come to you again, Mr. Olede. Now that Senator Godswill Akpabio has emerged president of the 10th Senate, what would you expect? He's a high-ranking senator, has been governor, has been senator, has been minister, and now he's back in the Senate as president of the Senate, or the 10th Assembly, or the 10th Senate rather. What would you expect, a president of the Senate like Godswill Akpabio to do, and what kind of relationship do you see, considering the fact that he was really supported by the executive? What do you see playing out in this 10th Assembly?
Akpabio, known as the uncommon governor with uncommon, development, when he was governor of Akwa Ibom State. I think his achievement as governor of Akwa Ibom State is yet unparalleled, it's yet unequal, even by the predecessor. What I expect from Akpabio is for him to continue the leadership model or the leadership style that he is known for. He's known as a big builder. Even when he was the leader of the minority leader of the Senate, you could see the way he was always relating with the people or the senators on the other side of the divide. So he has always been known to be a big leader. He's not nepotistic, he's not tribalistic, he's somebody who believes in the national unity of Nigeria. And that is what we expect him to carry on as the leadership of the Senate. He should not be the president of senators from the South or president of senators from the North. He should be the president of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And like I said earlier, the role of the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, is to complement the efforts of the executive in order to deliver the goods, to deliver the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. Nigerians are actually yelling. Now, our appetite has been stirred up again. Before, we have not hoped. We never cared about what government has got over because government administrations after administration have dashed our hope. But this present administration has come and has, stirred up our appetite again. So Nigerians have their hope has been renewed, just like in promise, and Nigerians are looking for more. They are yearning for more. I hope that this hope will not be dashed. I hope Senator Akpabio will work with President Bola Tinubu to accomplish the objectives of the Renew Hope agenda as encapsulated in the manifesto, the Renew Hope manifesto. I hope he will also be able to check the executive, particularly the president, when he is being tempted to overwhelm the executive power, because they say power can intoxicate. And with my rise of different minds and with different motives leaning around the president, he might want to be misled, he might likely to be misled, he might likely want to misuse the power that is given to him. The role of the National Assembly is to call him to order. So I hope he will be able to do that. I hope he will not be too subservient to the president. Yes, we need loyalty. Yes, we need cooperation, but we do not need a subservient Senate president. We do not need another rubber stamp Senate. We need a Senate that will stand his ground. When the president is doing that which is right, he will stand by the president. And we need a Senate that will stand his ground when the president seems to be going off the track and bring the executive back to order. That is the kind of a leadership that we want the Senate President.
Very well.
Senate President,
Very well said. Let's bring you up to speed now. You know, just like every contest has a winner and a loser. Some winners are jubilating, some others, just sitting there. And as it is right now, the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, is being led to his seat. He's going to be taking that seat, as President of the 10th Senate. And congratulations would be appropriate at the moment as we see him going up to the seat of the President of the Senate for the 10th National Assembly. We're bringing callers now and we'll get talking some more. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Moses.
Moses, good to have you. Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, I think I want to compliment on your guest for the much contribution he has added to this platform. Yeah. You raised an issue that has been a challenge to this country, and if that issue is not well addressed, the widespread of fire in future to come, this nation cannot hold it. Some of these politicians, most of them are not having the national interest at heart. Some of them have this self-centeredness and political mindset without the interest of this entire nation. If not, why should the issue of religion come into political scene that has been eating, leaving a legacy for our coming generations that are coming up? Look at the well-known leader called Emulfai. Look at his last statement he left that was going on viral today. What are you saying? Some of these people, it is not only Muslims that voted you there. There are other Christians and other people that voted you there. So you are there to serve them, not to segregate using religion or any other means to bring confusion into the nation.
All right.
So I am putting this as a point of understanding to some of our politicians. Leadership is a responsibility that you are coming to carry. It's not a position for you to embezzle. It's not a position for you to cause confusion, but rather you leave a legacy that people will compliment you. So you have the interest, the national interest at heart. So that is my own contribution to this comment.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Also, now bringing you up to speed again, Senator Godswill Akpabio taking the oath of office administered by the clerk of the National Assembly. Just bringing you up to speed with the progress being made at the chambers of the Senate. Now let's get to a question, a message sent in by Chooks. Chooks says, "Good morning, Ihana Cho and guest. Wow, so senators are early risers. I think it will make an interesting poll to find out how many of them actually slept last night. Let's get them to agree that henceforth plenary should commence at 8. I'm still laughing in Greek, waiting for the outcome of voting." Well, Chooks, the outcome is here. Senator Godswill Akpabio has emerged President of the Senate. And you go on to say, please, so for now, religion matters in our politics, and the governing class knows and exploits it. Example, the selection of the vice president vis-a-vis picking votes from the north. Chooks there putting forward his contribution. Now, what would you say, Mr. Olede, to what Chooks alluded to, the fact that politics plays a big role in, religion plays a big role in our politics today? Also considering the fact that when politicians make their calculations, they throw in politics but then when they want to, they find a way to divide Nigerians using politics. But when it comes to sharing money and the likes, this religion doesn't matter to them.
Yes, the reason that exists or that happens is because religion still appeals to some people, people that I don't know how to put it, that are narrowly minded, so to say, because you think when somebody from your faith is picked or is given a position of authority, that is when they think development can come to you. But that has proven to be wrong over the years. So the fact that somebody from your religion is sick or is not sick or is appointed or is not appointed does not mean that development will come to you or will not come to you. Now, what we should ask rather than looking after is the capacity. Does this person have the track record to deliver the goods? Does he have the track record, the pedigree, the capacity to bring developmental, projects that will affect the life of our people, and not just, therefore the politicians lose something, and they know that they don't merit that thing. So they now look at, okay, what can I use to get acceptability? Okay, let me play the card of religion. Let me appeal to the sentiment of people. So when they throw up the card of the religious card, so that somehow appeal to the sentiment of the people. Okay, this one is a class thing. This person belongs to us. Let us support him. Whereas, in actual fact, the person does not belong to you. Look at the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, who said he belongs to nobody and he belongs to everybody. Now, the people that he said he belongs to, now, they do not even feel anything from his government. So also the people that he didn't belong to. So, religion is something that cannot bring goods or cannot bring development to the table. So I would suggest that we blame society. Yes, it played a major role in the last election, but going forward, we need to develop our mind. We need to look beyond the parochial, way of thinking. When you have a broad view of a thinking, you have a broad view of a thing, you will know that religion really does not matter. You look at the person. For example, if you want to gain admission to university, when you go to right jam, you don't care who the registrar or the vice chancellor in that school is. You just want to make sure you do well, pass your exam, and then you gain admission into school. So it's not about who is there. We have emphasized that a lot in this country, and that's not helped us. We need to see that this thing has not really helped us. Rather, you do not expect something different when you keep doing things the same way you are doing it. If you want to see something differently, then you have to do it differently. And that is the way it works. So let's try another thing. We are going to practicing this issue of the religious sentiment. Now let us do this at least for a while and practice, and look at meritability, credibility, and capacity. Let us try those possessions and see the difference, whether it will work or not.
Well said. Let's take one more message from Chooks, and he says again, congrats to the uncommon achiever, like people call him, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Now we see all three arms of government are in the hands of Southerners. Is this nice? Chooks threw up something now and he's asking, does it look nice that all three arms of government are headed by Southerners? What do you make of that?
Well, like I said, ethnicity and regionality is very, very important so as to give everybody a sense of belonging. So it is good that the position of the Senate President has come to the South, because we already have the presidency. The president is from the South, the vice president from the North. Now, the Senate President from the South and the Speaker we have to definitely go to the North. So it is good if we, arrange it that way so that no section of the country would feel, marginalized. And if you look at the trajectory since 1999, it has played out in such a way that whenever we have the president come from the South, the Senate President always come from the North. From the days of President Obasanjo, Obasanjo was from the South. The Senate President then was also from the South. And when we had President Muhammadu Buhari, the Senate President was from the North. So it balances the equation and it also enhances the principle of check and balances that the democracy espoused.
All right, let's get to it. But this time around, just like in the Buhari administration, it seems like we had a similar arrangement where the president is from the north, the president of the Senate from the north, and also even the Chief Justice until recently was from the north as well. But let's look at some of the things that people expect from their legislators, or what Nigerians, how Nigerians can hold these people to account, because it seems like that's what many Nigerians do not understand, how to go about holding their representatives to account rather than begging them for money, or just singing their praise when they come around. They have a responsibility to hold them to account. How can Nigerians begin to hold their representatives, senators, House of Rep members to account?
Yes, that is the responsibility of some of us who belong to the civil society organization in the sector, and also to you who are in the media. The media is the only profession that is empowered by the Constitution to hold government accountable, and also it is the natural responsibility of members of the civil society groups, to hold the people in government to account. So the responsibilities are not to educate Nigerians. Now, hitherto, many Nigerians do not even know that they can actually recall their elected representatives. We need to bring that. It was twice during the time of Melaye, it didn't work, but we shouldn't stop there. We should begin to see it work. We should begin to see a situation whereby a senator or a House of Rep member who does not turn up on the floor of the National Assembly to legislate, which is the purpose for which he was elected, such a person should be reprimanded. I think he refused to eat because then the person should be recalled. So we need to start testing all those laws. The law is there through which people can be recalled. But maybe the implementation is in terms of a cumbersome. But we can push the National Assembly to also lessen the bottleneck around that, so that it will be easy to recall non-performing or redundant National Assembly members. We've had in the past situations where senators don't even attend speaking. Senators are expected to meet plenary at least minimum 3 times in a week. Some senators don't do it because you can see the whole chamber is filled up now. But let plenary start. You'll be seeing empty seats. You'll be seeing less than 109 members. Where are the remaining? Many of them will travel abroad to go and enjoy themselves with their families, forgetting their duty at the National Assembly. Many of them will go to attend to their private business. Now the issue is, if you know you are not ready, if you know you are not prepared, now why not leave the case for people who are ready? There are people who are ready to serve in that capacity, even without collecting salary, even without any form of remuneration. There are people who are willing to serve in that capacity. So it is the duty of the media to educate Nigerians. There are several laws that have already been put in place that empowers the citizens, because there is what we call the office of the citizens. Now the citizens have the power, the laws backing them to check members of the National Assembly. But most of them do not even know that law. Most of them do not even know those laws exist. So it is the responsibility of the media, the responsibility of the civil society to conscientize, to sensitize Nigerian citizens that they can actually stand up instead of expecting to kill from these people. We can actually challenge them and make sure they perform the duty for which they were elected.
Very well said. This would be a good place to leave the conversation. I would say a big thank you to you, Mr. Lanre Oloyede, a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning. Sound analysis there. Thank you again for joining the conversation.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me once again.
Thank you. And to everyone who has joined in the conversation this morning, calling in to share their thoughts with us, thank you so much for being there. To those of you who just sat back to listen, I call you MVP. Thank you all for always being there. Let's do this again tomorrow at the top of the hour 9, and we'll continue some way to bring you updates as to what's happening on the floors of the National Assembly, the red chambers as well as the green chambers. We'll see as we continue to bring you updates of what's happening there this morning. Stay with us. My name is Ihana Chopre.